Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a bare face. Today we're doing a one brand tutorial. So I'm gonna get ready and use all products from Neve Cosmetics. Neve Cosmetics is an Italian indie brand and they have a very organic formulations, and I was lucky enough for a few friends to give me some bits that they had, and I have been purchasing from them for a long time, and now I think I have actually a full set of products, or approximately, to do my makeup with all products from Neve Cosmetics. So I'm gonna start out. I have some eye primer on and I'm gonna start by doing my eyes. Neve Cosmetics started as a mineral makeup brand, so they have a lot of loose eyeshadows, of which here I have a bunch. They sell minis, and these are small 0.7 grams pots, and then they sell the regular size, which are 2 gram pots, and they come sometimes with limited edition caps, otherwise they have the regular black caps. I have been using these for a long time and I've never gone through one pot, so of these minis even, so I would say there's definitely plenty there. And then they also have single pan eyeshadows, blushes and bronzers. So this is one of my palettes of their eyeshadows. I have a few more in my drawer, but these are my favorites. And you can see this one, for example, is a blush and this one is a bronzer, and we have some other eyeshadows. Watermelon, for example, this one here is also a blush, and the difference here is that blushes will be less pigmented than the eyeshadows, but nevertheless gorgeous also on the eyes. I am going to start with this shade here. This is from one of their most recent collections. It's called Tonka. It's a nice yellow eyeshadow, and they're a formula I find actually quite easy to use, very blendable. The pigmentation is usually not the highest though, and I think that also makes them very easy to use. So from that point of view, it really doesn't bother me too much. And their mattes are, yeah, indeed, very easy to blend, as you can see. I am very happy that, for example, they also have some pre-made palettes with their own packaging, and I have from them the duochrome palette, and that contained full shimmer duochromes. I have since depotted them from their original packaging, which is this plastic 10 pan eyeshadow palette, and have put them in a Z palette because I can use more of them. My favorite of their loose eyeshadows, of matte ones, is this shade called Fondente. It is an amazing burgundy eyeshadow. The thing with, of course, loose eyeshadows is that you have to be a little bit more careful. So I am going to start with a small eyeshadow and then go with the other one to blend, and just dip into the pot and apply it to my eyes. I have been doing makeup with this eyeshadow in which I only apply this eyeshadow and then just tap some glitter or some shimmer on the inner corner and be ready to go, because it can be blended so well and it has incredible pigmentation. So this is possibly one of the eyeshadows I've been hunting as a single for a very long time. You can see that it has the red component, but it's still a very grounded eyeshadow. Then, to do the color on my lid, I am going to apply another loose eyeshadow, and this is called Compilation. And to do that, I'm going to apply first their base, and this is called Rugiada for makeup. So it's Dew for makeup. It is a liquid mixing medium and eyeshadow base. It's very liquidy, and you just need one drop to do both eyes. I take a brush, dip it in the drop and apply it on my lid. This is a very, very gentle product. It never ever burnt on me or anything, and it has no alcohol, so you don't feel that effect of burning or drying out that some of these mixing mediums do. Then with the same brush, I will go into the cap of this eyeshadow because there's enough, pick it up and apply it to my lash, to my eye. This will give me the most metallic finish for the loose eyeshadows. Often they don't have a lot of binding agents inside, so you need a base to have them stick to your eye and not flake everywhere. The great thing about these micas that Neve Cosmetics sells is that you can also use them to make eyeliners with this mixing medium or lip colors. They have a lip mixing medium and that will make for a beautiful lip color using these products. Now that I have my upper lash line laid down, I'm gonna clean out the fallout. That happens when you use loose eyeshadows, unfortunately. You have to tap off the brushes really well. I'm gonna clean up my fallout and move on to the face. For the face today, I will be using the Neve Cosmetics Star System, and these are stick foundations. I have the shades Medium Warm and Light Warm that I got as a present from my friend Stefania. And I'm gonna use both of them because I did self-tan, so I'm a bit darker, but Medium Warm is really my tan shade. So these are stick foundations with a very natural formulation, which is great, I think. I had no faith, I have to say, in this type of products until I tried it. I have been using these now for a few days and I am so impressed with the performance of this foundation. They do have a little sponge in the back, but it's quite hard and I prefer to apply it and blend it. I look so cool right now. With a brush. The coverage is not very high, but it is definitely buildable. I actually really like, it's the amount of coverage that I like from my foundations. You can still see the skin underneath, and it is a very, yeah, it's a stick foundation, so it's not liquid. It will stay on your skin where you put it, but you can see that you can blend it really easily. I find that the sponge is actually removing a lot of the product, so it takes me more product to do my whole face, which I think is nonsense. There is not a lot of product in these stick foundations, so I do think I'm gonna get through them quite quickly. If you see, Medium Warm is the one I use the most, but I used it 2 days and there's already quite a dent in it. I prefer the brush. That was to say I prefer the brush. You can see the finish is absolutely gorgeous. I am so impressed with these. Definitely recommend this foundation. I'm gonna do concealer. I am going to use Nabla concealers. I'm mixing cream beige and golden beige. They're still Italian brands, but not Neve because I don't have their concealer. And Neve Cosmetics does have a concealer called Nascondino, which in English is hide and seek. But I don't have it. I do like these Nabla concealers. If you apply a very small amount, you can see how small these dots are, and you blend it out with a sponge. Otherwise, they will look super crepey on my eyes. I did a full review on these as well when they came out, and I tested them out more consistently. To set my face, I will go in with a Neve Cosmetics powder, and I have two here. I have the Hollywood Loose Powder, and it's pressed version, which is called Flat Perfection Drama Matte. I have used the Hollywood so long. I had a mini, I loved it, and I bought the full size, and I'm still nowhere near finishing it. I think I'm not even halfway of this powder here. Today I'll be using the pressed version just because it's a little bit easier. And just going in with a brush. These are very mattifying powders, and they have in their line a lot of different powders for all skin types, so also illuminating powders, and I have only heard good things about them. I can definitely recommend these. I really like the loose one the best, but the but the pressed one is great for on the go as well. For bronzer, they do have loose bronzers. I have Kalahari on my wish list from them, but for now I'm going to use the shade California. This is a pressed bronzer. And again, you can use this as a eyeshadow as well, but they are designed to be a little bit less pigmented than their eyeshadows. And the great thing about all of their product is that it is so multitasking. Because the formulations are so natural, you can apply them on your eyes, on your face, on your lips, whatever you prefer. And this is a nice pressed bronzer. You can see it just gives a little bit of warmth to the face. There's no orange in this one whatsoever. It's a really nice bronzer. For highlight, I am going to go in with one of their eyeshadows. This is called Matcha. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that my matcha disappeared, or I had my pan, an empty pan with no product inside. So it's somewhere in my beauty room, but I never found it again. Under cupboards, I lifted everything, I cannot find it. Luckily, my friend got me a new one, so I have the shade Matcha, and this is an eyeshadow, but you can definitely use it as a highlighter. And this is a beautiful duochrome mint green. It was part of their summer collection that came out, and it was a tea time collection, so I couldn't not get it because of all the Alice in Wonderland references. And I really like to use it as a little bit of a different color. They do have some loose and pressed highlighters available. It's not one of their best products, I would say, but I like to use their eyeshadows for that. They have also some nice duochromes indeed that I like to use. For blush, I really like their blushes. I have a mini of a loose one, but loose blushes I find always difficult, especially in a mini format when you have a big brush. But I do have a pressed blush as well. I'm having a hard time saying brush and blush. This is Oolong, and this is also from their Tea Time collection. And this is the most gorgeous red-based pink blush. I really, really like it. And as I was saying, it's just a little bit less pigmented than their eyeshadows. I think I repeated it 20 times, don't hate me please. Now that my face is done, let's go back to the eyes. A product they're also very famous for is their eyeshadow crayons, Pastello in Italian, and I have a bunch of colors here. What I really love about these is that they are so colorful, because you can always find a color for anything you need in their collection. The thing that doesn't work great for me is their lasting power in the lower lash line. To match my shirt, I'm going to take the shade Isla, and this is a dark blue, and apply it both on my upper and lower lash lines. They have reformulated their Pastello recently, and I hadn't had the chance to compare them because I didn't have a lot of them at the beginning, because I didn't have many of them from the first formulation, but these ones are a little bit harder and longer lasting compared to the first iteration, let's say. You can still smudge them nicely, which is what I like to do with my eyeliner anyways. And indeed the best bit is that you can get so many different colors and they are so affordable. To set and blend that out, I am taking the eyeshadow Storm. Beautiful, beautiful petrol shade. I am so happy. I know I promised actually to do a subculture dupes with Italian makeup a while ago, and this would definitely be part of those for the blue shade Axis. It's a very easy to use soft shade, and it is easier than the one in subculture for sure, because it's less pigmented. For my inner corner, I'm taking one of the most beautiful shades from them. This is the shade Liquid Mirror, and it really is a super, super metallic eyeshadow, slightly warm toned in the base. I'm taking it dry because it is already so intense that if I use it wet, you could see me from space. And here it is, a little bit of a touch on the inner corner. Neve Cosmetics also has a mascara, but I don't have it on me, so I used my own. For my brows, I use the pomade, but they do have a brow pencil, and I have their brow gel. This is in the shade Roma Brown, and it is the brow model. It's a fiber brow gel, and it is actually very properly used. It is actually very suited to be used by itself because it has all of these fibers, and it really makes your eyebrows look much more bushy. Also, it may look light on the wand, but it dries down a little bit darker, and it does actually a really good job at setting your brows. You have a little bit of this crunchy feeling, and you have to be really careful not to go overboard, but this is actually a very nice brow gel, one of these that you would use when you don't have time to do your brows. You just brush something through. This is it, because they will look amazing right off the bat. Then for lips, Neve Cosmetics have multiple formulations. You have heard me rave about their glosses, the vernissage, for a very long time. They also have lip pencils that are very well suited to also be used as lipsticks all over your lips. And I have here one of the old formulation and two of the new formulation. And then they have some dual-ended lip pencils. This one here is Incognito, which I can absolutely recommend. And you have on one side a lipstick pencil, and on one side a smaller lip pencil. They do vary in shade, so I haven't used the lip pencil actually ever, I think, but I use the lipstick side a lot. And then they have the classic lipsticks that are very creamy and extremely comfortable. These all have a very natural formulation. For today, I'm going to wear the Due Baci lip pencil in Incognito, only the thick side, on my lips. And here it is. These are extremely comfortable to wear. They dry down to a very soft matte finish, and they really don't dry down your lips. You can think of them as a little bit of a drier formula from the satin from MAC, but very nice. On top of this, I'm going to put a gloss, of course, because I love their glosses so much. And this is the vernissage that is my favorite. It's called the Lady of Shallot. These are non-sticky, and they have different formulations. There's ones that are a little bit more sheer and ones that are very opaque. For glosses, they're absolutely on point and gorgeous. So here we go. This is my finished look using all Neve Cosmetics products. Almost, I guess. If you're in Europe, definitely take a look at the brand. They have stockists a little bit all over. I know there's e-shops that sell them, plus their website ships across Europe, and they often have shipping discounts together with their launches or stuff like that. If you're in Italy, you probably know Neve Cosmetics already, and I hope this gave you a few ideas of things that you might want to pick up from them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have tried Neve Cosmetics products, tell me down below what I still need to try that I'm missing out on. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!